I'm not trying to compare Australia and New Zealand in this video. Both are completely different countries, and there is no better or worse. But there are a lot of aspiring travelers that face the question, where should I spend my gap year? Australia or New Zealand? And if I'm traveling both countries, where should I go first? Hi, my name's Johnny, and I traveled both Australia and New Zealand on a work and holiday visa. Australia for 1 year, and I'm currently in my 8th month of traveling New Zealand. So I think I have a pretty good idea of both countries when it comes to work and travel. Please bear in mind that I'm telling you in this video about my own personal experience, and your own experience might be different. So please don't take this video as, this is how it is, but more as a, okay, this was his perception, his experience, how can I take that into consideration for my own trip? In this video I'm not telling you what Australia is, or what New Zealand is. You should know that Australia is more big cities, vast emptiness, beautiful but also dangerous wilderness and wildlife, where New Zealand is more crazy beautiful landscape and nature with crystal clear blue water. But if you've already done your research, you know what makes both countries special, and you still can't decide where to go, then this video might be for you. If you plan to visit both countries, then there is one thing that you should take into consideration, and that's money. When you are like me, starting out on a very low budget, and you plan to work first, make some money and take some of that money to whichever country you travel afterwards, then I would definitely recommend going to Australia first. When you have just graduated school and you're not skilled at a particular job, chances are that you will do some minimum wage job in Australia or New Zealand. Then let me just read out the next section for you because there's too many numbers. Minimum wage for farm jobs in Australia, which most of you will be doing, is, as at July 2023, 28.26 Australian dollars, which currently translates to 18.72 US dollars. Where in New Zealand, minimum wage is 23.15 New Zealand dollars, which is 13.94 US dollars. The thing is that despite of the big pay gap, the cost of living is still pretty similar in both countries. When you pay 5 US dollars for a hamburger in Australia, you will also pay $5 for a hamburger in New Zealand. Maybe a little less, but that doesn't really make a difference. So it is much more likely that you will make money in Australia that you can take to New Zealand than that you make money in New Zealand that you can take to Australia. How much time do you have and how much do you want to see? Don't underestimate how big Australia is. You might think you're able to cover all of Australia in 2 months, but you're probably not. When you've only got 6 months and you plan to work 3 out of these 6 months, then Australia is probably not worth it. I would recommend to have at least 6 months of pure travel time if you really want to enjoy what Australia has to offer. But to be completely honest, probably not even 10 years would be enough. On the other hand, you can see plenty of New Zealand in 3 months. You can probably also spend a lifetime here and not see everything. But if you want to go back home after 3 months with a feeling of, I kinda did everything I wanted to see and I didn't miss out on too many things, then New Zealand is probably the best bet for you. Something that was very beneficial to me now that I'm traveling New Zealand was, and that sounds a bit dumb, but that I traveled Australia first. I got used to a lot of driving in Australia. Long distances, many kilometers in my car. And now that I'm here in New Zealand, I feel like I can walk anywhere. You know what I mean. Now New Zealand feels very small to me. Even though New Zealand is roughly the same size of Germany, I wouldn't have casually driven 4 hours in Germany before Australia. But now 4-hour driving feels to me like buying groceries. I'm exaggerating again, but you get it. Another thing to consider is to like and subscribe. Got you there. No, but seriously. Another thing to consider is, still talking about driving and distances. Do you like to make plans? Or are you more like me? Someone that just likes to get in their car and just drive around aimlessly and just take things as they come. If you do that in Australia, chances are that you just end up getting lost somewhere without seeing a lot. Worst case, you break down on a gravel road in the middle of nowhere at night. And you don't want that. Or do you? And other than that, Australia requires a little more preparation and research before going there. It might sound like a cliche, but in Australia, literally everything tries to kill you. Snakes, falling branches, drop bears. No, but seriously, you should know a thing or two about Australia before you camp in the Australian wilderness. In New Zealand, on the other hand, the worst thing that can really happen to you is that you trip over a stone and break an ankle. Don't get me wrong, you also need preparation for New Zealand. New Zealand is famous for a lot of long walks, multiple day hikes, and I wouldn't recommend attempting the route burn without any research or without any preparation. where you should have some kind of route plan for your trip through Australia in order to see the things that you really want to see, you can really just get inside your car and drive in New Zealand. You'll always end up somewhere. And when you find out about a cool spot that you missed in New Zealand, chances are that it's not any further away than a 5-hour drive to get back there. In Australia, it can easily be that you just get in your car, drive past all these cool things, then you find out about a cool thing that you missed 15 hours ago, and you're probably not gonna drive back these 15 hours. So if you are a chaotic traveler like me, and you just like to take things as they come without making many plans, just get inside your car, drive and see what happens, then I'd probably recommend going to New Zealand. If you like big cities and your plan is to become a bartender and embrace the nightlife before you travel onwards to the next big city to do the same thing, then Australia is probably a better place for you. When it comes to big cities, New Zealand really only has Auckland, and the second and third biggest cities, Wellington and Christchurch, do not really get anywhere near to the scale of Melbourne or Brisbane. Don't get me wrong, you can probably have an amazing time as a bartender in Christchurch as well. But if you really want the big city life, you're probably better off going to Australia. I mean, I personally would choose Christchurch 100 times over Brisbane, but that's only because I don't like big cities and I try to stay away from them where I can. In the end, nothing of what I said in this video actually matters when you feel attracted to one country more. When you were always fascinated with Australia, then go to Australia. When you can't stop thinking about New Zealand, you should go to Australia as well. Sorry, bad joke. You know what I mean. So I know that a lot of Australians will be watching this video, and it might also reach a few Kiwis. And I would love to hear your thoughts about what I said in this video, and let me and potential other travelers know if what I said in this video was complete bullshit, or if it was just about right. And please be fair in the comments. I don't want the comment section to be a fight between Kiwis and Australians about which country is better, because that would just be ridiculous. I am very happy that I got to travel both countries, and to me personally, both countries were equally as worth traveling to. But to wrap it all up, if you travel both countries, it probably makes more sense to go to Australia first. At least I am very happy that I did it that way. If you are now interested in finding out how traveling Australia for a year can change you as a person, you might want to check out this video. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, be happy, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.